We got Pat Darcy on the line, former Holy Spirit star, who's now a sophomore at Princeton. What's up, Pat?
I'm good. How are you?
Hey, how's it going, man? Thanks for taking a few minutes. I know you're fresh off your flight back in from Mexico.
Yeah, that's right.
How was it, bud?
It was a good time. We'll leave it at that.
Living the dream, man. Spring break, buddy.
Yeah.
So how's things going, man? I haven't talked to you in about 2 years.
Yeah, it's been everything's going great. It's been a crazy 2 years, obviously transitioning into college, not just wrestling, but academically. It's been quite an experience, but I'm doing well, and yeah.
What are you studying up there?
I'm looking to major in psychology. Yeah.
Nice. Is Princeton as tough as everybody thinks it is?
Yeah, it's pretty tough, but one thing I learned that if you're willing to put the work in, you can come out of here okay.
How do you manage the academic side with the wrestling? Because wrestling is one of those sports that carries over from the fall semester into the spring. Right.
Yeah, you definitely have to budget your time well. Make sure you stay on top of your classes so that you have time to practice. We might have lift in the morning. So I'm getting my work done. I can get up early, go to lift, maybe even take a nap in the middle of the day, get my work done in the afternoon, then go to practice, and I still have time to relax. So as long as I stay on top of my work schedule, I have plenty of time to train, and it works out.
Now, does Iowa State's Earl Hall know your name now?
I hope so. Yeah.
How awesome was that, man? For those of you guys just tuning in or listening to our conversation here with Pat Darcy, former Holy Spirit star, took down two-time All-American Earl Hall of Iowa State 8-1 in the opening round of this year's NCAAs. What was that like, man, taking down a guy with that kind of pedigree?
Obviously he's a great wrestler, but I'm not afraid of this guy. I've wrestled such a tough schedule early in the season. I was really battle tested going into the tournament. I didn't have a great record, but I knew, I had a tough start to the season, but I knew I was improving as the season went along, and I was just, I felt confident going into the tournament. I knew he was beatable. I watched some tape of him, and I was ready to go. I knew I was wrestling at my best, so I competed hard for 7 minutes. I knew that good things would happen.
Then you ran into a beast, Corey Clark of Iowa. Man, that kid's a monster.
Yeah, he's not too bad. But it is what it is. That's why you show up to these tournaments. You want to go out there and wrestle the best, and that's what I got a chance to do. So I'm thankful. How good was Clark?
I mean, here's a guy who went on to win the national title. So obviously, he's one of the best wrestlers in the nation. What was that like wrestling a guy like that? I mean, Did you learn anything from a match like that?
Just the intensity. Wrestling a guy from Iowa, whenever you wrestle a Big Ten opponent, these guys go hard for 7 minutes. It's no joke out there. Next time I wrestle him, I got to be able to match his intensity. Or just, he's done. But any Big Ten opponent, Iowa opponent, somebody of that caliber, you have to be able to match their intensity from the get-go. And I wasn't ready to do that. As the match went on, I started to get into more of a rhythm. But these guys are here to wrestle. So I got to be ready to go from the start.
We're talking with Pat Darcy of Princeton University, former Holy Spirit star. Pat, what was the biggest difference between NCAAs and the NJSIAA state championships? You were there, I believe, 3 times, won a state championship as a senior. Was it a different feeling? Or, how would you compare the two?
It's funny. As the tournament went on, I started to realize, it's not that much different from the state tournament. Obviously, you walk around the hallway, you see, Jordan Burroughs and Tom Brands and all these legendary figures, Cale Sanderson. But aside from that, it's just wrestling, and it's the last tournament of the season. And something I love about both tournaments, it reminds you why you really love the sport. That's where the glory is, winning a national title, winning a state title. And it reminds me why I train so hard in the season, to be the best.
Pat, you must be proud of your boys over there at Holy Spirit. I mean, when you were back there in high school, there was maybe 6-7 guys in a room. You couldn't win a dual meet because you couldn't fill out a lineup. And here they are, 2-time defending sectional champions.
Yeah, it's really incredible. I think it says a lot about what a great coach Ralph Colon is. he took that program from nothing. We basically started from scratch. There were years where we had 6 guys on the team, but we always had tough guys. But we just had a problem filling out a lineup, and we're finally doing that. And you see some of these young guys like Fitzpatrick, Wazen, and they're just having Alex Harper. He had a great season. Guys are having great success, and I really credit Ralph Sloan for doing a great job. And it's great to watch. I wish him the best.
Pat, real quick before we let you go, how much did Ralph mean to you? I mean, this is a guy that just lives and breathes wrestling. He's one of those guys that he's always hyper intense, and he's the kind of guy you can sit there and talk wrestling for about 5 hours with.
Oh, no doubt. And that's why I chose Holy Spirit. I know this guy truly cares about his wrestlers. He truly loves the sport, and he wants to be there. He's the type of guy that'll sit down with you for endless hours and figure out a way to beat one of your opponents. He really wants to get the best out of all his wrestlers, and that's what makes him a great coach.
Pat, we're up against the break. Got to let you go, but I appreciate you taking a few minutes, especially coming off your spring break there. Enjoy the rest of your time off, and good luck the rest of the way, man. We'll be keeping tabs on you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right, man. Have a good weekend.
You too.
That was Pat Darcy, Princeton University, former Holy Spirit star. Always